Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Kai Sage here, bringing you back another video. This is my ESO PvP tier list for the Gold World patch. It's been a long time since I did any commentary, so bear with me here. I'll throw out a few disclaimers and then talk a little bit about how I grade these classes and how I put them in their ranks. So the first disclaimer, obviously, is just my opinion. It's just a tier list, not a big deal. If you do have any feedback, though, I'm usually open to hear it, assuming it's respectful. I'd be more than happy to talk in the comments and chat about where I put these classes and hear what you have to say, or if you agree with it, great. Second disclaimer is if you're wondering, why does my opinion matter? How do you know? I've played basically every class. I have a ton of content. Feel free to check out, my recent videos, and look there if you're curious to, why you should listen to my opinion. But I think, especially if you're getting back into the game and you want to know what to play, or you're looking for what to play during the event, that'll be tomorrow when I post this. Feel free to take this at face value. Now, how I grade, it's going to be 75% open world based. The reason why is because that's what I play. Not to say you're better or worse player because you play open world. That's just what I have the most experience in. And to me, it kind of identifies everything about a class. I think dueling and battlegrounds are a little more gimmicky, a little bit more set based, if you will. So 25% will factor in battlegrounds and dueling and stuff. I won't dismiss it, but to me, open world is going to weigh more. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the colored ones that are not green, obviously, are the Magicka versions. The green ones are the Stamina versions. I'll also try to leave out scribing the best I can, and I'll factor in the PTS patch notes a little bit. I know they're not finalized, so I don't want to take them too much at face value. I'll specifically be focusing on this patch, but I definitely want to talk about the patch notes for a couple classes. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is Magicka Dragonite. Mag DK is easily S tier. It has great sustain, great defensive capabilities, and a lot of damage. I don't think there's anything they're missing at this point. If you go into ult, I think obviously that gives you kind of everything. And so to me, they're just a really, really strong class. I will say the corrosive nerf made them not busted. Obviously, just being able to sit in corrosive all day was insane. And that nerf was a really, really good one. And I think it made the class a lot more balanced. It's probably a little, better than average, obviously, or better than what's considered a balanced class. But at the end of the day, I think it's fine. And I think it's just strong, which is, like I said, it's fine. Stam DK plays very similar. So, but they're a little bit worse than Mag DKs in my opinion, just because like heals and stuff or Magicka can be a little bit harder to sustain on stamina classes. But overall, it's for the same reasons as Mag DK. Great sustain, really good defense, and great damage. To me, Magblade is going to be A tier. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say. They're going to say Magblade's S tier. You have way too much damage. One skill shouldn't hit as hard as ultimates. But I think that's what makes them relatively balanced. They're very squishy. I haven't found a Magblade that, unless you build into it, but if you build into defense, you don't have the damage. So I haven't found a Magblade that hits like crazy hard that can't basically get nuked. So that's why I consider them A tier, which to me, A tier is going to be that balanced tier. And S tier is going to be above balance. You get the point there. But to me, Magblade's just A tier. I really don't think it is, S tier. I think it has a niche, which is the high damage. Sustain is decent, pretty good, and its defense is terrible unless you build for it. But if you build for it, like I said, you lose damage. So to me, I think it's an A tier class. Stamblade to me is going to be C tier. Now, the reason why I put Stamblade in C tier is because I'm assuming it's different than the Magblade, right? Even though they can play similar. I'm assuming you're going to be using like the Stam, the Stam moves and morphs, and to me, Stamblade is just not that good. You have to be very gimmicky, like ganking or maybe bombing, to really, do a lot with it. But basically, it's like why not just be a Magblade at the end of the day? So that's kind of what I'm basing it off of. I guess I'm comparing it more to its counterpart, but that's basically that. Magsork is an easy S tier. It's the most broken class in the game right now. It's probably the only broken class in the game right now, in my opinion. But the shield healing was a bad move. They did it for Arcanus, but at least Arcanus doesn't have like good damage. So it made sense to kind of make it very, very tanky, and give it something no other class had. I mean, I guess. But putting it on a Magsork or giving it to Sorks was a complete mistake. I don't think anybody likes it other than Magsork mains who are delusional and who believe Magsork should have everything. But assuming you're semi-reasonable, putting a heal on the Sork shield was insane. And to me, it made them completely broken. They have really high damage, great mobility, great sustain, and now great defense. I mean, they basically don't have a weakness at this point. They're an easy, S tier, and they're probably a rank even above S tier if I had to do it. But for the sake of this tier list, we'll leave them in S. For me, Stamsork's going to be an A tier class. Stamsork's kind of the same as it's always been. And the shield didn't affect them that much. It's obviously really hard to use the shield if you're a Stamsork because you don't have the mag or the mag sustain, to really make good use of it. I know it goes off health too, but there's not usually high health Stamsorks running around. So, in my opinion, I think Stamsork's fine. Great damage, great mobility, great sustain, but lackluster defense, which has kind of been the Sork way for a while now. Magplar to me is going to be C tier. The reason why I'm putting Magplar in C tier is because it's basically like, why wouldn't you be a Stamplar? And Plar is in a really weird position where, other than like range Plar, you're basically never actually a Magplar. Power of the Light is obviously better. The new scribing skills that are being used are better than Purifying Light. Nobody's really using Magicka jabs anymore. I haven't seen many like Stave, like using a Fire Staff or Lightning Staff, Magplars. I mean, they just don't really exist. So in my opinion, I just don't think Stamplars are Magplars, I don't think are very viable. Which leads me to the next class, which is going to be Stamplar. To me, Stamplar's easy A tier. It's really, really strong. It has good defense. It has good damage. It has not so great sustain, but a class shouldn't have everything. I mean, to me, that's what makes it A tier, is that it doesn't have everything, but it's strong in areas it's supposed to be strong in. So I think defensively and offensively, it's really good. It just struggles with sustain. So you have to run Wretched or Roxa or something to, sustain efficiently when you have multiple people on you, basically. Magden, I'm going to put Magden at S tier. Now, people might think I'm crazy, but I wasn't going to do this, and I don't want to factor in sets too much, but especially, or scribing, but especially when like something's catered to a class, I kind of have to. So like that Warden Charm is insane. And that Northern Storm like Charm build is absolutely insane. Magden would not be S tier without that. It'd probably be closer to like A tier. It obviously has really good heals. Sustain can be a little difficult sometimes, but and then defensively it's really, really good. Damage is good, obviously, with the double breach. Yeah, I just think Magden at this point with that build is S tier. Without that build, it's probably, like I mentioned, A tier, but that's basically all I have to say about Magden. Stamina to me is A tier. It's really, really strong. The Dizzy Swing builds are insane, like the 40k health Dizzy Swing builds, but the reason why I put them in A is because their burst is really predictable. So with that being said, I just think that Stamden's probably fine. And then with the PTS, that 8% damage nerf coming for, really high health Wardens, I think that'll even them out even more. It might even drop them to B tier, honestly. So we'll see what happens with that. But for now, I'll put them in A tier. Necromancer. So as if you've watched my channel at all, Necromancer is actually my main. I've played Mag and Stam probably pretty equally at this point. Maybe Mag a little bit more. I'm actually hopping back into Stamcrow after the event, just because I'm already a 5-star. There's no point playing it. But I was really interested to see the PTS patch notes. It seems like they really are making an effort to make Crow, at least viable. I don't think Crow's going to be busted by any means, but if we're talking about this patch, they'd be lower than where I'm going to put them, but because of how much they're doing for them next patch, I want to put them a little higher. So for me, I think Macro is going to be B tier, and I think Stamcrow is going to be B tier. Mind you, this is next patch. I'd probably put them in C or dog shit tier, honestly, if I was talking about solely this, but because I really have high hopes and because I'm very biased towards this class, I'm going to put it in B tier because I'm assuming it will get quite a bit better. And once again, this is open world purposes, so you may think like a Magplar will absolutely destroy a Crow, obviously, in a duel, but I digress. Now, Arcanus. Arcanus is probably what I have the least experience on, but I do have a friend, like I said, that plays these, so if you disagree with these, I'm not going to fight you on it, honestly. I haven't played this, like I said, as much as the others. In my opinion, I think Stam Arcanus has to go in dog shit tier. It's not good. And the reason why, obviously, you can't shield as much. you know your abilities use stam, which is really disgusting. Like the burst heal and stuff. And dizzy swing builds are not good. You know, like I said, my buddy's a 3-star Arcanist, and it's not good. I think Mad Arcanist might be a little bit higher at C tier, just because you can sustain a little bit better, and your class is actually being Magicka. Like I said, will make it a little better, but honestly, I can't. And I saw in the patch notes they're adding some more bursts to the tentacle, and defensively, I know they're insane, but I just don't like to play like that. And if I think about like 1VX or 2VX, you basically don't bring really anything to the table offensively, like when it comes to like burst. And 1VX is impossible because if anybody even is slightly tanky, you can't kill them. So, and you know, you can even throw all the procs and stuff on them, and they're still like subpar. So, this is my tier list. Honestly, like I said, leave your comments below. Let me know if you agree, what you agree with, what you disagree with. Let me know, your thoughts on this, and give me your ideas and thoughts for next patch. My next video will be my Stamplar build, I think. Don't hold me to that. I don't know what I'm gonna play during the event yet, but hopefully this helps. The event is tomorrow, so enjoy. I'll try to stream if I can during the event, so make sure you tune into that. Subscribe to the channel, of course. Join, become a member if you'd like to support me, and join my Discord. I'm very easy to talk to in the Discord. I don't check my YouTube comments all the time, but I respond very quickly normally in my Discord. I put all my builds in there, so if you ever want to ask me anything or see what I'm running for a particular class, it should all be in there. But that's all I have for you guys today. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Later.